So WeWork. You're familiar with WeWork?
Yes, we work.
WeWork has put out a statement that they're basically, what is the actual sort of statement? That they're struggling. They have substantial debt, and there's a basically a going concern, which basically means in accounting and business terms that they don't know whether they'll be able to cover their financial obligations in the next 12 months. So there's a very rough. Basically when companies make statements like this, it's obviously not a good sign because it's a publicly traded company, but it means that there's a significant reality that WeWork might not exist in the next 12 months, which is crazy, right? Crazy to think, right?
It is.
So WeWork, the history of WeWork to those that may not be aware, big company, once valued at $47 billion.
Pre-COVID, I assume.
Pre-COVID IPO, but like there's a lot of controversy about that. They're effectively a rental arbitrage business. They basically get office space,
cool spaces, guys,
and resell it. Yeah, it's a coat of paint. It's a great it's a great example of marketing aesthetics and like the role that it has to play into perceived value.
And I'm sure like even the product in itself, right? The ability, I mean, if we talk from a business point of view, if you've got different kind of businesses sharing the same space and the conversations, you know, collaboration, but also networking.
But that's a very fuzzy concept, right? But anyway, look.
It's,
before all this sort of drama, because WeWork's share price is tanked. Like this is not
new news. It was coming.
It was coming, but I think it's just culminated here. And I think the interesting thing, without talking specifically like to WeWork and that, like a lot of industry pundits are saying that their valuation was silly to begin with, and this is the game that happens when you list because you want to list for the highest number possible. And it's interesting within the tech sort of space. This is not a tech company. Because
it's rental space.
But they list it as a tech company because when you list as a tech company, your valuations are bigger, right?
Yeah, that.
So anyway,
guys.
There was all those elements here, and COVID.
Hold on, sorry, just one quick question. This is getting very minutia, but when you're doing a valuation, do you have to report that to somebody, and then somebody checks, like you do, if it's
and
all correct?
This was the. We gotta watch that's why I really want to watch the WeWork. It's not a documentary, but like the WeWork,
the series.
But basically, they come up with a massive valuation pre-IPO, and when people started checking their accounting, the books, it didn't really show that rosy a picture, effectively, right?
You're right.
So I mean, like it's a very cash-intensive business. A lot of businesses are very cash-intensive businesses. Tesla. I just read the biography.
Don't start it. We just.
I love me some Elon. Anyway. The main point that I wanted to bring up here is it's a big brand. It's not a massive brand, but if you're in the business space, you know WeWork, right?
Yeah.
It's almost a cultural brand. I don't know if a lot of people believe that, but like
a functional lifestyle.
I mean, I went. Yeah, well, that's what they're selling. See, this is the marketing, right? But anyway, to that point, imagine if WeWork doesn't exist. How many other brands that are in the greater pop culture sphere that could actually be facing this? Because you hear about it, and they've taken losses over losses. But as an example, Spotify hasn't made a profit since they've been like incepted in the beginning. How is that possible? Can you believe a world that Spotify doesn't exist? Because it's ingrained within the pop culture. So Netflix. They have made profits, but with all the writer strike and all this sort of stuff,
the changes to the user logins and stuff,
a lot of streaming, a lot more competition. There are worlds, I'm not saying it's going to happen, that these massive brands can just vanish, and it's really interesting because they are in the greater pop culture sphere, and I think a lot of times when you going about working for whatever companies you are, big established companies, there is maybe not that appreciation that to keep a company going on for as long as it is not a small thing.
It's hard work because again, there's different things that come up, and you're then, I guess, leadership is just like, wait, what are we going to do about this?
Yeah.
How are we going to solve this? How are we going to go above this? How do you get the people going?
The important thing that we've got to understand for all businesses is they are there to make money. Capital enterprise. If your business is struggling to make money, like, let's keep it like very real. And we've got to, especially if you're in the private sector, right?
Yes.
Public sector could be, it definitely, there's a bit more nuance on it. But it's just interesting to see such a big company that has such a big valuation. You can't like have that if you don't have people believing in it. And COVID didn't help them because there is a real rental real estate crisis. In all
everywhere.
Not in Australia it's a thing, but definitely in I've been reading
US
and hearing
as a whole,
about
right?
it. So unfortunately for them, COVID really smacked them in the wrong different way as well. They had to keep these costs, but they couldn't get the returns. Had to restructure debt, etc., etc.
It's also like there has to be some level of like tracking all of those stats, and then seeing that there isn't the demand anymore either, right? From their customer point of view, it must be must be tough.
Again, can you imagine a world that Spotify doesn't exist? Because I don't know any company.
Well, Pandora doesn't exist.
But like if you put it to the company that you work for, we're not going to say the names of the company I work for. Like, Spotify started, I was doing research in 2000.
But I will say this, right? Even if we're comparing Spotify, Pandora, I mean, like, even Apple's in the game, right? But Apple's like powered by other products and things, so they're fine. But with Spotify, they've literally gotten the product right.
But they can't make money off it. But that's what I'm saying. In any other,
I guess they gotta look at the other levers, the other levers that they can pull, right?
But the business plan for venture, like VC based companies or startups, and again, I keep bringing it on, but that's what makes Tesla such an amazing success story, because they were against everything. They made it, and they made it profitable. It's huge, But they also, again, not knowing the case study of it all, but they also honed in on what was the opportunity, right? They did, but it's not enough to get a good idea. Everyone has good ideas.
I wouldn't say everyone has good ideas.
A lot of people have good ideas. There's enough good ideas out there. The harder thing is good executioners that can take that idea and make a sustained profit. Because effectively, if you think of the Spotify model, let me put it this way. Let's just say they've been live for 20 years, a decade, 10 years at least, all right? We at least believe 10 years.
10, I think. Yeah.
If you had an investment that lost you money for 10 years as a share, you'd sell it. You would, right?
Yeah.
But this is a business that employs people that technically hasn't turned a... God, I hope this is right, but I did check this on Barden and all that, and they haven't checked it.
Check your facts, guys.
Check your facts, guys, before you have a microphone and spread misinformation. But just think
Don't react.
But just think about it like that, right? That's actually insane if you think about it.
Yeah, that's you got to really, really hold on and be like, Jesus, take the wheel. I believe.
If I were going for a new job and I saw a Spotify job, I'd think,
cut that out for everyone else. I mean,
if you work for Spotify, I'm sure it's. But the thing is, these are amazing companies to work for.
Yes,
great products.
Yes,
you would want to work for this
great
company.
Culture. Supposedly,
it's just that, like, understand that businesses are in the field or in the business. Terrible. To make money. To make money. They have to make money. And that's how people get paid.
But then I guess the other thing to note here again is you need to have good leadership and good people to execute on the vision.
Yeah. You do.